Okay, for today's video, I'm going to do another ornament. And I pre-painted this one. And I painted the outside of it. Now, I got another video coming out in another day or two where I'm experimenting pouring inside of it. But this is painted with this golden carbon black. It took me a couple of layers. And then I just eyeballed the center and marked it. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't measure that. I just look and go, okay, if this is hanging, where is approximately my center going to be? And I mark it. And that's for the ones where you're going to do a pattern, a one-sided pattern, and not all the way around it. So today I'm going to use the DecoArt Paints so I can give exact colors for everybody. And I'm going to start out with a fairly large center dot. Let's go with the number 15. And I'm going to do it in the Snow Titanium White. Now, I've had a lot of people request more talking in tutorial, like a tutorial type of video, rather than doing time lapse. So if you guys care to give opinions, I'd love to hear from you. I try and do some of both because I realize some people just like to watch painting and don't paint themselves, and so they don't want to be bothered with all the instructions, and other people would like the instructions. So if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to post them in the comments. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to a number 3, and I'm going to go to this sour apple. I'm going to do this one just with reds and greens for Christmas. And I will speed this up in places. And so things that'll take a long time to dot, so you don't have to watch it all, but I'll try and keep it on the slower side for people that like it that way. So I'm going down to the number 3. And I'm going to do my 4 dots to begin with. I always do a top and a bottom in the left and right sides before I judge how many I want to do in between. And that all depends on how big my center dot is. I don't like to overcrowd them, so like on this one I'm going to do 2 dots in between those. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, like 12 dots all the way around. And see, and then you can leave them more evenly spaced. If I were, I could probably fit another dot and do 16, but they'd be crammed in there. This one might be kind of similar to yesterday's pattern. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do on it yet. But I know some were disappointed it was a time lapse and not instructional. So it's probably going to be kind of similar. Okay, now normally I graduate up in size as I go, but I think I'm going to do just another row in the same color, in the same size. So a number 3. And just place another dot in between the other ones in the previous row. And it's easier if you have like an extra palette or something to set it in. I like to use, my husband made me these styrofoam holders if I'm going to do a pattern that goes all the way around because there's really nowhere to hold it when you're doing that. If you look at my how to do ornaments video that I have out, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Now I'm going to switch up colors, and I'm going to go this darker. This is a Festive Green by DecoArts. And then I'm going to go up to the number 4. And I'm going to do another row in between the other ones again, but with a slightly bigger dot and a darker color. Okay, now I'm going to go with a bigger dot. Let's go to let's go to number 9, and I'm still going to use that same color, that, what is that, Festive Green, and I'm going to do every other dot. Now, I like to, okay, let's go this way. My dot is kind of off-center, and I usually make sure that it's, when it hangs, that my plus is right, but it's not, so I'm off. But it'll still look pretty when it's done. It's not going to be perfectly symmetrical like I like it to be. So food for thought, if you're doing yours, you might want to watch where you place that dot. All right. And that's where we're at so far. Now I'm going to go down to the number 2. And using the white, I'm going to walk some dots around those big green ones we just did. I always find the center point first. And by center point, I mean coming out from this, where the center is on each dot. And then I redip, and then I walk them. And turn it whatever way you need to turn it to be able to see it. right. Now I noticed, now I was going to do another row like I did yesterday, but I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit different. I'm going to go to a number 4. And I'm just going to put a white dot in between each one, right here, so that it kind of ties that lacy border around together. I'm actually liking these green colors together. I don't know if I even want to put red, but I'm going to. Okay. Now I'm going to incorporate some of my red, like I just said. And the next, that's the true red. And I'm going to do another border on the outside of that with the true red. And I'm going to use the number 2. And I start just in the middle like always. And I'm going to take it to the white dots that I just placed. Now you can't really see the number 2. Let me stick it up here. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, now I'm going to go back up to the number 4. And using that same color, I'm going to put another dot out from that white dot. And if it goes over the other one slightly, that's fine. I want to bring them together. So this is what we have so far. I know it's kind of hard to see from the distance. Okay, now I'm going to get a larger size go. I think I'm going to go with the number 9. And I'm still going to stay with that red color. And I'm going to put a larger dot out from the one I just placed. Yep, that one's kind of small. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the number 3. Okay, now I'm going to number 3, and I'm going to walk dots around these with the white. And I always get a little bit bigger tip as I go out further, because I need more paint on my tool to make it all the way around. And if you don't want the bigger dots, then you just got to redip your tool and use the smaller one. And I do that too. Well, it depends what look you're going for at the time. My grandson's throwing a fit in the next room. I'm sorry if you hear that. And now my dogs are barking. I'm so sorry, guys. This is why I do time-lapse a lot. A lot of background noise going. Okay. Now I think I want to add to those white and how these are curved here with the red. I'm going to do a dot still with this number 3. I may maybe do 3 dots and kind of join these sides. I'm doing the center dot first, so it's bigger. And then when I redip to do the other side, I always tap it on my palette because I'll have, when you're doing the center, if you do the center and then you go 2 to the side, they're going to get lesser. So then I dip again and I'll tap on my palette before I do these 2 because I'm not doing that center dot, if that makes any sense. See, I'm doing that, and then I'm going 2 off to the side. So now I redip it and I tap on my palette, and then I do the 2 on that side. So they stay comparable in size and I don't have bigger dots on one side than the other. That's why if you ever see my palette, here, I'll show you. See how I have extra dots here because, oop, I just bumped into it. Because I hit it as I go. Oh, I smudged that one, but we'll be doing a center dot on it. Gotta really be careful of your placement, especially with these. They shift all around when you're dotting them. Okay, so now it's all bordered in white. I really like the way that's looking. That's kind of cute. Okay, so now I'm going to take that lighter green color and bring that out. You know, and I'm thinking I'm going to border where I just did. And I'm still using the number 3. I've got to mix my paint because it's been sitting for a while. But I'm going to do at least in these creases. Not sure if I want to go around those big red dots yet, but I'm going to go, and just where I just filled in with the white, I'm going to go and do green. And this is that sour apple color. And if you need to make 4 dots or 3 dots to fill in the space, do whatever it takes, because people will notice that the space isn't filled in, but they're not going to count your dots. Trust me, they won't count your dots. People watching my videos will count my dots. And people that watch your videos, if you paint, will count your dots. But if you've got somebody looking, you know, if you just give it to somebody for a gift, or even if you sell it, they're not going to count your dots, because people that don't paint don't examine it like people that do paint. Okay, and I'm not going to do those, not going to go around those red ones. I'm going to get a bigger dot. Let's go with, what number is this? Number 11. And I'm going to use that same color I just used, the sour apple, and I'm going to do a big dot out from where I just made those borders, right in the middle. And really how I judge how much I'm going to put on here is when I pick my center, you know, if it's slightly off, it's really hard to tell when you're dotting these ornaments. I'll go until it's filled up to the top or to the bottom, and then I just leave it. And that you could do more on the sides and bring it out further in that if you like, but for these ones where they're just single-sided and they're not something that goes all the way around it, I just try and fill it up so that when it's hanging and you see in the front's filled. Because you're not going to see the other sides anyways. Okay, so I'm going to use the white again, and I'm going to dot around them. I'm going with number 3. Okay. Now I like when people do multiple layers, so I'm going to do multiple layers. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see, what color do I want to do? I think I'm going to do the light green that I made the dot in. I'm going to do a circle of that, still with the number 3. And I'm redotting this as I go. And that window looks a little wonky. So they're going to stay similar in size because I'm not locking them. I'm redipping, so I'm just trying to keep them kind of similar in size. I'm not dipping every time though. I'm dipping like every other time. It's giving them a more rounded appearance. See how this one is bigger and gradually smaller, and these are kind of closer in size, so they're making it more rounded rather than that oval looking. I don't know how else to describe it. You really got to watch your placement of your fingers when you're holding on to these. It's nice when you're doing just single-sided because it does give you a spot to hold, but it's very easy to catch the opposite side if you're not paying close attention. You can get it in a good position where you don't have to hold it. That's good too. And see how close I am to the top? So this is going to be my last row on this ornament. Now I'll do stuff to fill in between these, but I'm not going to go any further out because I won't be able to do it evenly around it. Okay, now I'm going to fill in these areas. So I'm going to use this darker red I've got. We haven't used it yet. It's called Cherry Red. And I'm going to put a big dot, substantial dot, in between each one of these. Let's see. I don't want to go that big. I think a number 13 is too good. And I'm going to place it kind of just a bit out from the edge of that white and right directly in the center between my walked green dots. All right. Now that's going to be it for the pattern for now. I'm going to add top dots. So let's go. I need a clean Kleenex for my wiping. Sorry. Okay. So let's see what numbers we need now. I really love Christmas ornaments that are just Christmas colors. I mean, I like the pastel-y and the bright pinks and stuff too, but this one just says Christmas to me, and I like that. So for my center dot, I'm going to use that limey, the sour apple, and this is the number 11. And I'm just going to dot over that center. Alright. Now for these dark green ones here, I'm going to go with the number 3, and I'm going to put that sour apple on top of the festive green. I like to do the lighter colors on top of the darker colors, if at all possible. But I do vice versa too. If I have a like these lighter colors, I'll put the darker ones on. I just think it highlights it more the other way around. Okay. Now I'm going to get a bigger tool. Let's see, can the number 4 be big enough? No, I want to get bigger than that. I want to go to number 5. And this is, I'm going to use the darker on the lighter. So I'm going to do the cherry red on top of the true red. These are true red dots here in the outer ring. So I'm going to use that cherry red with the number 5. Okay, those outside dots aren't dry yet, so I'm going to let it dry a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to top dot on these lighter greens on the outside. And I'm going to go with the number 7. So I'm going to top dot the Festive Green, which is the darker green, onto the sour apple. Alright, still using the same number. I'm going to top dot the true red onto the cherry red. So that's the lighter one on top of the darker one on the outside edges here. Okay. And then I think I'm going to go down to the number 1. I can get this to light right. I'm going to go down to the number 1, and I'm going to put some of those lime dot, or that sour apple dots, on these smaller, darker greens right there. And I think I'm just going to do those darker ones, just to add a little something more. I'm not going to do the inner ones. Alright, and now I'm going to go up just to the number 2, and I'm going to use that bright red, the true red color, and I'm going to dot on these white ones. Okay. Now I'm half tempted to do some more white dots. I'm not sure that I really want to. I think I'm going to leave it. I'll be right back. I'm going to let it dry and hang it and then show you guys it. So there it is, finished. Now if you watch to the end and you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you. If you like the video, please like it. And click the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when more videos are available. And again, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.